Hello, my name is Cyrus. Welcome to Tuntum Network, and thank you for subscribing to this channel. In today's episode, we are looking at Africa's most entrepreneurial countries. There is a ranking done by CEOworld.biz in 2021, and I feel strongly that it's still relevant for today. So we are looking at the top 10 most entrepreneurial African countries, and it's going to surprise you, the countries that are on this list. The rankings took into consideration these indexes. Let me quickly run through them. Innovation, competitiveness, infrastructure, labor skills, access to capital, and openness for business in determining which countries made the list. Now, you have to bear one particular point in mind, and that is 42.88. This particular score is the score of the country that sits on top as the most entrepreneurial country in the world. So this is the score to beat, 42.88. And now, ladies and gentlemen, these African countries made the top 10 list. The first is South Africa, second Rwanda, you have Morocco number 3, Kenya number 4, Nigeria number 5, Tunisia number 6, Ghana number 7, Botswana number 8, Cameroon number 9, and Egypt at number 10 place. Now let's break it down and put some context to it as usual. So South Africa sits at the first place scoring 15.42, but we still have to bear in mind the figure to break. That will be 42.88. Now, 15.42 for South Africa looks quite decent, but it's just about 36% of the score to beat. All right, and it's based on these metrics which South Africa actually scored. The first will be one of the highest skilled labor force in Africa, competitive spirit, business-friendly environment, second largest economy in Africa, access to capital, and the industrial hub of Africa. So I'm going to break it down, giving more meaning to the metrics that they gave according to my understanding. I feel strongly it's an accurate assessment seeing South Africa on number 1. And the reason is simple. South African universities dominate in the top 5 universities in Africa. They have by far the widest access to capital in Africa, and the economy is so diversified, having all manner of nationalities living and working there. So they attract all manner of investment at the same time. Now, second on the list is Rwanda, scoring 14.96 under these indexes. Innovative, available infrastructure, openness in business, and thriving startup culture. This is my take on Rwanda. You see, Rwanda in the last decade has been very attractive to venture capitalists. The business world sort of trusts their nation's leadership and the systems put in place by the government of Rwanda. It makes them attractive, and hence good things happen to that country. I think they perfectly well deserve the second place in Africa. Third on the list is Morocco, scoring 14.32 under these indexes. Vibrant entrepreneurial ecosystem, growing pool of skilled labor, competitive, access to capital, and favorable startup environment. Kenya comes in at 4th place, scoring 14.2 under these indexes. A hub of entrepreneurial endeavors, competitiveness, innovative, access to key infrastructure. And this is my take on Kenya. To me, Kenya and Rwanda both enjoy the same advantages due to similar circumstances in their countries. They both have the confidence of investors and venture capitalists. They both enjoy the confidence investors have in their leadership and the ease in the ecosystem of their business environment. These things are working for them in that part of Africa. At the 5th position is Nigeria, scoring 14.11 under the following indexes. Largest economy in Africa, improved access to capital, open business environment, and competitiveness. Now, to me, Nigeria, in terms of entrepreneurship, venture capitalists, and all manner of investors coming into Africa, they stand for this particular adage in Ghana, which says, meaning that they are a thumb that you cannot tie a knot without. They have the largest economy and the largest population. They attract all manner of businesses and competitions, and that constantly makes them attractive, irrespective of their political or societal challenges. Tunisia sits at 6th place with 13.38 score under these indexes. They are innovative, support for small business, enhanced infrastructure, and competitiveness. And this is my take on Tunisia. They are by far the most democratic Arab nation in not just Africa, but in the whole of the Middle East. And even though they have a relatively small population, half of that population has relations in France. So having access to some form of capital in starting small businesses or being attractive to venture capitals is quite easy for that nation, especially in their capital, in Tunis. 7th place is Ghana with a score of 13.35 under these indexes. Commitment to nurturing startups, favorable labor skills, openness for business, and fertile location for entrepreneurs to thrive. This is my take on Ghana. I think the political stability, coupled with our history with black slavery and our peaceful environment, has always played a role in attracting all manner of investors, especially venture capitals, into our country. And in addition to that, the entrepreneurial spirit of the Ghanaian, even though it's not as vibrant as in other African nations, is still rewarding enough to make people want to venture into all manner of businesses in the country. 8th place is Botswana, which has a score of 12.85 under these indexes. Fast-growing economy, improved infrastructure, and supportive business environment. One thing I can tell you for sure about Botswana is this: it has a formidable business environment with an exceptional respect for the rule of law. In spite of its small population, they have pretty high purchasing power, which puts them at the spot of attractiveness. And at 9th place is Cameroon, scoring 12.65 under these indexes. Burgeoning entrepreneurial spirit, improved access to capital, and openness to business. To me, the testament of Cameroon is more about the people of Cameroon than the government of the nation. And this is my reason behind that. In spite of all the challenges the nation faces, the people are relentless. They go out there and try to make things happen for themselves. Remember, they have pretty decent population and a large number of immigrants in many parts of the world. And finally, Egypt comes in at 10th place, scoring 12.59 under these indexes. Innovativeness, diverse labor skills, promotion of small businesses, openness to general business. Now, the main factor that has contributed to this attractiveness of Egypt is their tourism. Their tourism and their history will forever put them in a position of attractiveness. It is not going to change irrespective of the political situation of that country. And now, this is the highest score of the country, being the most entrepreneurial in the world. It is USA with 42.88. And guess which country fell to the 100th position in the world? It's El Salvador, scoring 12.18. Now do your own math with the highest and the least on the top 100, and you get an average of around 27.53. And guess what that is? It is higher than the African country on the top 10 of the African list. This is still not good enough. This pretty much explains why most African industries are not developing, our companies are not getting bigger, and we are not making strides in the world as competitive in business. But if you care to know how to raise the score of your country, look at the best and learn from them. End your civil wars. Stop the religious and ethnic conflicts. Institute right constitutional and legal frameworks. Elect visionary leaders and be accountable to one another. This, in my observation, will be the first step that you take in order to raise your score. And finally, let's encourage entrepreneurship in Africa, support African businesses, and work towards self-sustainability on this continent. Until I come your way again, thank you so much for being a part of my podcast. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment if you have to. God bless you, and it's bye-bye for now.